So welcome back to the video. In this subnetting part 2 we are going to study about more problems deeper. Last video we studied about CIDR, classless interdomain routing, some problem 1, and then we'll have some hands-on on part 2. So here we are going to take problem 2. Here we have a network 192.168.1.0. For this network, one router connected to 4 switches, and we need to divide the network into 4 subnets such that it can accommodate the number of hosts required. So we need to divide into 4 networks such that it can accommodate 45 hosts over here. So remember, in the last video, as per like /24 can accommodate 252 hosts, /25 can accommodate 126, and then so depending on that we need to find a subnet which can accommodate 45 hosts over here. So let's calculate over here quickly. So here's the screen. So we have the similar kind of setup over here. So /24 again can have 2 raised to 8 minus 2, that is nothing but 256 minus 2, that is nothing but 254 usable hosts. But again, like if we subtract which is like wasteful, like again 200 IPs will be wasted. So for /25, 2 raised to 7 minus 2, that is 128 minus 2, that is nothing but 126 host, usable host are there. So again, like the problem is like we have a requirement of 45 host only. So why go again? So like /26, that is 2 raised to 6 minus 2, that is nothing but 64 minus 2, which is nothing but 62 usable addresses over here. So which is very close to 45 over here. So if we cancel 45 from here, so only 17 host IP addresses will be wasted over here. So why not try one more? Like let's see if we can accommodate /27 can accommodate 32 minus 2, that is nothing but 30 usable addresses, but our requirement was of 45. So definitely this /27 cannot accommodate 45 IPs. So the best answer is /26 IP /26 subnet over here. So /26 can accommodate in general 45 hosts over here. So here also /26, over here also /26, and then /26. So basically /24 can be divided into /26 of 4 parts, so it can accommodate 45 host networks over here. So I hope this is clear. So let's hop to second part. So here we have the same network 192.168.1.0/24 over here. The first subnet, that is subnet 1 over here, has 192.168.1.0/26. okay, correct. So what are the remaining subnets? So we need to find the network address of the remaining subnets, that is subnet 2, subnet 3, subnet 4 over here. So how to do it? So there is a hint: find the broadcast address of first subnet. So remember, from the IPv4 addressing part 2 video, we had find network address, broadcast address. So find the broadcast address of the subnet 1, and then the next address is the network address of subnet 2. Got it? So after the broadcast address will be the network address of subnet 2, and repeat the process for 3 and 4. So let's calculate over here. So we have a similar subnet over here. So we need to find, we have 192.168.1.0/26, okay, for subnet 1. So we need to find the broadcast address for this. So let's see what's the broadcast address for this. So 32 minus 26, that is nothing but 6. So for /26, that is 2 raised to 6 minus 2, that is 128 minus 2, that is 126 hosts, usable host, but we have 128 addresses in the first block, correct? So the first block will range have like 128 addresses, so it will range from 192.168.1.0. if you include 0 also, so it will become oh my bad, it's 2 raised to 6 is 64 over here, and then uh, my bad, so 2 raised to 6, my bad, totally understandable, 64 minus 2, that is 62 hosts over usable host over here, but we have 64 addresses over here. So the if you include 0 also from here, so until like 64 it will become like 192.168.1.63. so 0 to 63 is like total 64 hosts in all, so 64 hosts. So like the first range will be like subnet 1 address will be like from 0 to 63. So 63 is the broadcast address of subnet 1. So what was the hint? Using the next IP address will become the network address of subnet 2. So 1.64 will become the network address of subnet 2, and the broadcast address will be like 63 plus 64, like it will go an incrementing of 64, so it will become 127. So 192.168.1.127. so again the broadcast address is like 1.168.1.127. so what will be the subnet address for slash network address for third subnet? The next address of the broadcast address, 192.168.1.128. So if you add 128 plus 64, that gives you 192.168.1.191. So similarly, for subnet 4, the network address will be 192.168.1.192 until, so 192 plus 64, that is 6, 5 and 1, 256. So if you uh, remove 1 from that, since 192 is also being counted, it will become 255. So in this way we are able to find the network IP range for subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3 and subnet 4. I hope this is clear for you guys. And then sorry for the thing, I have a bit cold. So let's take one more problem over here. So I'm taking like variation of problems so that you can able to find the what's the right subnet for the number of hosts, then what's the IP and broadcast address for the subnet, and now this is like a third variation, that is nothing but you need to problem 4. So there is a network like 192.168.255.0/24 over here, and then we have a router connected to 5 switches over here. So divide this network 255.0 into 5 subnets of equal size. See the word equal size, identify the 5 subnets over here. So we haven't went for the equal subnets thing. So what's the formula here? So if you need to find the number of subnets, the formula is 2 raised to x, that is nothing but x is nothing but number of borrowed bits. So I'll clear further. So you already know this formula, 2 raised to n minus 2, that is number of hosts, that is n is equal to number of host bits. Okay, and then what is x over here? Let me take you around. So I'll show you what this means. Like, so let me see over here. So if you go down 192.168.255.0/24, so you already know, like, this are like octets of 8 parts. So octet 1, octet 2, octet 3, octet 5. So this totally has like 24 bits of network, and this is like remaining 8 bits of host over there. So if you borrow one bit from the, so if it becomes /25, so the network will have 25 bits and the rest will be like 7. So basically, if you go for 25, you borrow one bit from the 24, right? So basically you are moving to the right over there. So the address will be like interpretation will be like 0 0 0 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 0. So if you borrow one bit, that is will become /25. If you borrow 2 bits, that will become /26. If you borrow 3 bits, that will become /27. Correct? So out of this IP address, we need to divide into 5 equal parts. So the formula which I told you was 2 raised to x, that is nothing but the number of subnets, where x is equal to number of borrow bits from the network given network address. So the requirement is of 5 subnets. So if you borrow one bit, that is nothing but /25. Okay, so 2 raised to 1 will give you 2 subnets, but the requirement is of 5. If you borrow 2 bits, borrow 2 bits, that will become /26. So it will become 2 raised to 2, that is 4 subnets, which doesn't satisfy this 5 subnet criteria. If you borrow 3 bits, that is /27, that is 2 raised to 3, that is 8 subnets. So basically borrowing 3 bits satisfies our criteria to divide into this. So you need to borrow, like, have /27 subnet in order to divide the network into 5 equal, remember the word equal. If the word is equal, you use this formula 2 raised to x. If there is number of host, you just use 2 raised to n minus 2. I hope this is clear. So each subnet will be given /27 /27 /27 /27 and /27. So if you want to do the calculation over here, so /27 has nothing but 32 minus 27, that 2 and 5. So 2 raised to 5 minus 2, that is nothing but 2 raised to 64. 32 minus 2, that is nothing but 32 host and then 32 usable addresses over there. So we have divided into 5 times, so 32 into 5, that is nothing but 0 15 160 host over there, and then /24 can accommodate 2 raised to 8 minus 2, that is nothing but 256 minus 256 minus 2, that is nothing but 254 hosts over there. Still we have some space, but if you give everyone like 32 32 32 hosts, so this is like a better thing. So remember the formula. If you need to find equal number of subnet, you need to do step 1, borrow bits, and then formula is 2 raised to x gives you that number of subnets. So that's all for this video. I hope you understood subnetting, number of hosts, and then how to divide into equal number of hosts. So that's all for this video. Thank you.